CRISPR and ethics. Do we have the right to alter human nature? CRISPR, clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats, is a revolutionary gene editing technology that allows scientists to modify DNA with unprecedented precision. While CRISPR holds immense potential for curing diseases, improving agriculture, and even eradicating pests, it also raises profound ethical questions about the limits of human intervention in nature. At the heart of these questions is a fundamental philosophical dilemma. Do we have the right to alter human nature? 1. The promise of CRISPR. CRISPR technology has the potential to transform medicine and biology. By editing genes, scientists can correct genetic mutations that cause diseases, create disease-resistant crops, and even engineer organisms to address environmental challenges. Medical breakthroughs. CRISPR could cure genetic disorders like sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, and Huntington's disease. It also holds promise for treating cancer, HIV, and other complex diseases. Agricultural advancements. CRISPR can create crops that are more nutritious, drought-resistant, and pest-resistant, potentially addressing global food security issues. Environmental applications. Gene editing could help combat climate change by engineering organisms that absorb more carbon dioxide or break down plastic waste. 2. The ethical dilemmas. While the potential benefits of CRISPR are immense, the technology also raises significant ethical concerns, particularly when it comes to editing the human genome. Playing God. One of the most common criticisms of CRISPR is that it allows humans to play God by altering the fundamental building blocks of life. This raises questions about the moral limits of scientific intervention. Should we have the power to redesign life, or are there aspects of nature that should remain untouched? Designer babies. CRISPR could be used to edit embryos, allowing parents to select traits like intelligence, physical appearance, or even personality. This raises concerns about eugenics, inequality, and the commodification of human life. Would this lead to a society where only the wealthy can afford genetic enhancements, creating a new form of genetic inequality? Unintended consequences. Gene editing is not without risks. Off-target effects where CRISPR edits the wrong part of the genome could lead to unintended mutations and new diseases. The long-term effects of gene editing are also unknown, raising concerns about unforeseen consequences for future generations. 3. The philosophy of human nature. CRISPR forces us to confront fundamental questions about what it means to be human and whether we have the right to alter our own nature. Human enhancement. If we can use CRISPR to enhance human abilities, such as increasing intelligence, strength, or longevity, should we? Philosophers like John Harris argue that human enhancement is a moral imperative, as it allows us to improve the human condition. Others, like Michael Sandel, warn that enhancement could undermine our sense of humility and erode the values that make us human. Identity and authenticity. Editing genes could change not only our physical traits, but also our sense of identity. If we alter our genetic makeup, are we still the same person? Does genetic editing threaten our authenticity and the uniqueness of the individual? The natural versus the artificial. CRISPR blurs the line between the natural and the artificial. If we can design life, does nature lose its intrinsic value? Or is it our responsibility to use technology to improve the natural world? 4. The ethics of germline editing. One of the most controversial applications of CRISPR is germline editing, which involves making changes to embryos, eggs, or sperm. These changes are heritable, meaning they can be passed down to future generations. Intergenerational justice. Germline editing raises questions about the rights of future generations. Do we have the right to make irreversible changes to the human genome that will affect people who have no say in the matter? What if the changes have unintended consequences that harm future generations? The slippery slope. Critics argue that allowing germline editing could lead to a slippery slope, where the technology is used for non-therapeutic purposes, such as creating designer babies or enhancing human traits for competitive advantage. This could exacerbate social inequalities and create a new form of genetic discrimination. Global consensus. The ethical implications of germline editing are so profound that they require a global consensus. However, different cultures and societies have varying views on the morality of genetic engineering, making it difficult to establish universal guidelines. 5. The role of regulation. Given the ethical challenges posed by CRISPR, there is an urgent need for robust regulation to ensure that the technology is used responsibly. Balancing innovation and caution. While it is important to encourage scientific innovation, we must also proceed with caution to avoid unintended consequences. This requires a careful balance between promoting research and protecting ethical principles. Transparency and public engagement. Decisions about the use of CRISPR should not be left to scientists and policymakers alone. The public must be engaged in the debate to ensure that the technology is used in ways that reflect societal values and priorities. International cooperation. CRISPR is a global technology, and its ethical implications transcend national borders. International cooperation is essential to establish ethical guidelines and prevent misuse. 6. Conclusion. A moral crossroads. CRISPR represents a moral crossroads for humanity. On one hand, it offers the potential to eliminate suffering, cure diseases, and improve the human condition. On the other hand, it raises profound ethical questions about the limits of human intervention, the nature of identity, and the rights of future generations. As we navigate the ethical challenges of CRISPR, we must reflect on what it means to be human and what kind of future we want to create. The decisions we make today will shape the course of human evolution and determine whether we use this powerful technology for the greater good or for our own selfish desires. In the words of philosopher Hans Jonas, act so that the effects of your action are compatible with the permanence of genuine human life.